Hello and Happy New Year. Welcome to another episode of A Day in the District, the start of Season 4. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporation. In this fourth season, we're going to do like we've been doing in the other three, and that's connecting with our community partners and highlighting individuals who make an impact on our Gary Community School Corporation and, most important, the children in this district. I am joined by a dear friend and colleague who is also a product of the Gary Schools. She is none other than Dr. Janet Seabrook of Community Health Net Health Centers. Happy New Year, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you too, Chelsea.
I think we're still within the realm where we can say that.
Yeah,
You know, we're early
it's
on.
still 11.
Okay,
So we're
11.
good.
I don't know if you've been on the show before. I don't think you have, but you have been on so many different shows in the community where people know you for being that person who champions health, but moreover, champions health equity, equal access for underserved communities in healthcare. And we're going to dive deeper into that, but I'm going to take it all the way back. I know we're sitting here at Westside, but you are a proud Roosevelt graduate. Talk about your Gary School days, Doc.
So, yes, I am very proud Gary Roosevelt graduate. Not talking about the year. Thank you very much.
We can't tell. We're thinking you're still there.
But I went to Douglas Elementary School, and then Beckman Junior High School, and then went to Roosevelt and finished up at Roosevelt. Had a great time with all of my friends, and I truly, truly love sciences. So the advanced biology program, chemistry, physics, believe it or not, I loved physics, and it was because
She
of
was
my
one
teacher.
of those.
Yeah.
Of course, amazing
it was because
teachers.
Of the teacher,
Yes.
Mrs. Anandam. I'm never going to forget her name.
Oh, wow.
She was Middle Eastern. She had this hair that almost touched the floor, and she would wear the saris, real colorful, and she knew physics like the back of her hand.
Wow.
And she taught me how to remember those formulas and how to relate them to each problem.
Oh, wow.
And I remembered that into my first year physics at Tuskegee.
Oh, nice. Historically Black College and University?
Yes, yes. And so it just really, the base of knowledge and friendship and that core, relationship with the students and my friends and the teachers, and just that community that we had and we shared at Roosevelt. And then let's not forget our champion basketball team, track team.
Class
Let's not
of
forget.
82. I well know it. Most know that I am a sibling of Roosevelt graduates, so they will never let me forget. And I knew all the songs, and I was at all the games. I was young and misguided. No, I'm kidding you. I love that you brought that up because it is something that we work hard in current day to develop that relationship with our students and that experience. We want them, wherever they head after Gary Schools, to be able to say, the teachers cared about me, I had great friends, I had great opportunities and experiences, and bringing you on the show represents another one of those opportunities. So again, we'll talk more about Community Health Net's connection to the Gary Community School Corporation, but I want to go to post-med school. So you're a Meharry grad.
Yes.
Gotta throw that in there. I'm all things Dr. Seabrook.
Another HBCU.
Another HBCU. And you saw a need in your own community of healthcare needs for those who may not be covered, who may not have transportation, adequate access, whatever the case may be. And you decided to do something about it. What did you do, Doc?
Okay, so this actually was a little selfish of me. I'm going to tell you this right now.
Okay.
Because I could not afford medical school, okay? But there is a program for students. They will pay for you to go to medical school, but you have to come back and work in an underserved area.
Well, if you're going to be selfish, that's a good kind of selfish to be.
And so, and you got a little stipend too.
Yeah.
They paid for your microscope and all your lab fees and things like that. And so I was excited when I found out about it. Guess how I found out about it? At the Gary Public Library on Fifth Avenue.
I love it.
I pulled a book down and started
A
looking
real
for
book.
a real real book.
A real live book where you didn't swipe.
And started looking through for, because you hear about scholarships for undergraduate, but you really don't hear about much for medical school and graduate school. So I was surprised when I found out about this federal program. So I was really excited. I applied and actually was given the scholarship, and I was able to go back to medical school because literally I had 2 years in, and the debt was starting to pile up. And I was getting really concerned, and I was like, I have to figure this out.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that I figured it out was on my break, was staying in the library and studying, continue to study for school, and try to find a way to go back to school.
Wow, what a lesson. I bet our colleague, Dr. Vanessa Allen McLeod, if she watches this, she's going to be proud of you because she's always pushing our young people to go do the research, look for these scholarships. There's money out there, and you are a prime example. So you finish, you have to come back. What did you do then?
Well, because Gary did not have a federally qualified health center, I was assigned to one in Chicago. That didn't sit too well with me. I had to get up, drive to Chicago every morning. So another selfish thing. I was working, not working, I was appointed to the Gary Health Department board. And so a notification came from the state that there would be grant awards for state-funded health centers, but you had to write a grant. So I sat at the health department. Yes, I've been all around the city of Gary. Just give me a little desk and a little space. I'll be okay.
Real work.
And worked on the first grant to actually ask for state funding to start Community Health Net. Was then at that time Gary Community Health Center, but we changed our name in 2010 to Community Health Net. And it's just been a whirlwind. So worked over at a fairly qualified health center on the south side of Chicago off 115. And
the Wild Hundreds, as it's commonly known.
And got the notice that we were able to start the health center. And I put in my notice and I said, thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
What an amazing story. And this is almost the end of the first segment of the show. You are watching A Day in the District. We're talking with Dr. Janet Seabrook, Roosevelt grad, Tuskegee grad, Meharry grad, and an all-around Gary native who loves Gary and is making a difference. When we come back, we're going to talk about the start of Community Health Net, where it started physically, because there's a great story behind this that you should know that will definitely make you respect her hustle. Stay right there, and don't forget to visit our website, garyschools.org. We will be right back.
When you join the Army, the first thing they teach you is how to get in line. Not exactly the same in high school. When I enrolled in Westside Leadership Academy and joined ROTC, the first thing I learned was respect. Not just for God and country, but for myself.
Gary Schools, strong, resilient, built for education.
I said I'd never join.
Thought living on sub would be too hard.
I figured only the weatherman tracks storms.
I said my job wouldn't matter. Never knew how strong I was. I never thought this would be my commute.
I figured I'd never get out of my hometown.
Or be the one who stops an attack. Joining the Navy sounds crazy. Saying never actually is.
We are back, A Day in the District, and I'm still your host, Chelsea Whittington, chatting with Dr. Janet Seabrook of Community Health Net Health Centers. I'm smiling so much because this is such an amazing story of triumph, overcoming, stick-to-itness, etc. For young people who are watching, The library is a thing. We love our Gary Public Library, and there are books in there, and there are opportunities for you to research. So you found this grant, you gave your notice, that's where we were, and then you were able to start. But the humble beginnings of that, can you just describe what your first healthcare center looked like?
So, you may not remember this, but there was, because I have to give a little story in front. Remember the McDonald's on 30, by the Village?
Yes.
The Village McDonald's.
Yes, up on the
hill. And then
hill.
that became Healthy Start. Mm-hmm. So I started there. I went from the health department there, found a little room in there, was sharing space. Dr. Bartholomew was in there. The health department was doing classes there, so there were a mix of people.
Okay.
Methodists had doctors there. We
It was just a little healthy spot, right? Okay.
Healthy Start was there, so started there and started to put the board together, do the nonprofit paperwork that we needed to become a 501c3, put the board together, start engaging potential board members. We had a board retreat. We got people to sign on and be on board. Well, now, okay, it's a reality.
Yes.
And the funding is starting to come in. And so one of the board members had a church, and behind the church was a trailer. And so this trailer had been set up. It had a dental chair, and it had 3 medical exam rooms. So guess what?
We're moving.
Took the dental chair out because I'm not a dentist, and we didn't have one. But started seeing patients in that trailer behind the church until we got the funding to build the building on 5th Avenue, our original,
Your
location.
flagship location, 1021 West 5th Avenue, where you can find Dr. Seabrook sometimes because she's all over the place. So how did that make you and your family feel to say, yay, you went away, you got all this learning, as the old folks call it, you get your learning, when you came home and you're able to build a whole network of healthcare centers. Now we're at number 10, 11 now?
Still only 8.
Okay,
Still
look at
only
me,
8.
I'm just manifesting
I know,
it.
but yes, thank you very much. But, well, I guess if you include the mobile units.
Yes,
If you include the mobile units, then we do have over 10.
Yes, Community Health Net is a whole brand, you know, and for those of you who are under rocks, come from underneath. We see your billboards, we see even the bus seats, the signs, but more so, we feel you in the community in the ways that you give back. I'll give an example for the Gary Schools because I'm pulling the narrative together now. We most recently had the Polar Express event in December, which was an overwhelming success. We're upholding literacy. As soon as we let you know about it, you're like, I'll support that. We had our trunk or treat event, where we give out candy to the kids, which I know you're not a proponent of, but we were giving out books. You were like, I'll support that. I mean, anything I see in the community, you're working with the American Heart Association. You serve on a variety of committees, all that relate to our overall health. And so I'll circle back to ask you, Doc, what is the status of health in our community, a Black community? I know that's a long, loaded question, but there are things in insight that you give that help us to do better.
I think that we're making some inroads. We still have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of hypertension and diabetes in our community. Uncontrolled diabetes can lead to heart disease, can lead to amputations. And so just really trying to get out there and educate everyone about chronic diseases like hypertension, diabetes. Another thing, particularly in African American community, is maternal and infant mortality.
Yes.
And really focusing on those numbers. And Community Health Net, we feel we do a very good job. Our numbers of maternal death and infant death nil.
Wow.
We do a program called Centering Pregnancy and Centering Parenting. And those programs are specific modules, so to speak, to help the mom during that pregnancy to better take care of herself and the infant that she's carrying. But we address not only the mom's need and the child that she's carrying, also the family's needs, because we're looking at those social drivers of health. are there transportation issues? Is there a housing issue? You know, are the children prepared and ready to go to school?
Right.
I mean, to the point where, you know, we've assisted in, okay, you need some socks.
Yeah.
You know, it could be as simple as that.
It's
you
the
know?
whole child.
You look at that whole package.
Yes,
you know?
and I have witnessed that, and I know for a fact that your team helps with our vaccinations and the physicals that our athletes might need. And I just feel like starting early and connecting with the parents at an early age ultimately impacts their education as well. Because if I'm sick, I can't go to school.
Right.
If mom is sick, we can't make it to school sometimes, or they can't provide the care, or dad, or the families. And so those wraparound services that CHM provides are critical. And I feel like more partnerships should be forged, and you have done that, starting with another school district. You are in Calumet High School.
Yeah, we've been in Calumet High School, New Tech High School since 2008.
Now, what does that entail? When you're in a high school, what do you get?
So we have a full-service clinic. You're able to get comprehensive primary medical care as well as behavioral health, and we actually have an optometry clinic there as well. And it's
I can't
open
see
to
the board. Go down the hall.
Exactly. That clinic is actually open to the public and to the school district. And so we have children. They still go through the regular process. They go to the nurse if they're in school during the day and they're not feeling well. The nurse will assess them and determine if they need to be seen at the health center. She'll call down and speak to one of the healthcare providers and determine if the child needs to come down to the clinic or not. Open to the public. We actually just built a new front entrance, so people, coming right off the street can come right into the building and request services.
That's amazing. I also feel like that helps the parents because, when you call and say, Mom, I'm sick, they have to take off, then they have to come, they have to pick you up and they take you to, but if it's right there, they can get that critical care right away inside the building, which is amazing.
You just said something that's very critical. The school district saw a decrease in the amount of absenteeism, particularly at the high school level. And it gets critical when you're starting to get close to graduation.
Yes, those credits.
We catch the kids up on their vaccines so they can walk across the stage and get their diplomas. We make sure that they're not absent from school because of illness or sickness, that their parents don't have to call off work to come and pick them up.
See, I told you. We're talking to Dr. Janet Seabrook, and when we come back, we're going to reveal some amazing news about Community Health Net and Westside. Stay right there.
Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life.
It's gross. I don't really want to talk about it. She didn't want to at first, but I mean, it's no big deal. Everybody does it.
I was ready. Totally ready, because we had been practicing this dance for weeks.
He was supposed to take this girl to this dance, but
I sprained my ankle at track practice.
I hate sharing anything personal. It's so disgusting.
For the dance, I let her wear my shoes and she hated it, but I thought she looked great in them.
He could barely even walk.
I ended up taking some pills for my pain.
Yeah, they were my mom's, but
it didn't go well.
If it's not yours.
If it's not yours.
If it's not yours.
Hey, you.
Don't take it.
Don't take it.
Don't take it.
Don't take it. You won't believe what happened next.
(2024), we are back. A Day in the District. I'm your host, Chelsea Whittington. A Day in the District is a program designed to help you, the viewer, stay connected to your Gary Community School Corporations. Here at the Gary Schools, we absolutely love, love, love partnerships, and that's why I make it a point to have our guests who are our partners come on and talk about the amazing work that they're doing in the community and how it connects to the Gary Schools. So I have buried the lead for the first two segments, Doc. We talked about your amazing rise to your service in the community as a medical professional. We've talked about the expansion of your healthcare centers. We've even talked about another school district. Oh, pshaw, shame on me, but we love our Lake Ridge schools. But plans are in the works to bring a community health center clinic to Westside Leadership Academy, which I am so excited about. I know it's been a long time coming. It is not an easy lift. There are things that you have to do, from the paperwork to also the types of things that you have to do to cosmetically get ready. So please give us the deets on CHN comes to WSLA.
Okay, all right. What everybody's been waiting for, right? So it's finally coming to fruition. We've been in talks with the school district for a number of years, and finally, it looks like in 2024, it's all coming together and coming to fruition. Community Health Net will have a location, our 9th location.
Ah, that's number 9. I love it. I'm so excited about that. So you talked about the services over at Calumet. Will they mirror here at Westside, or will they be more? We want more.
I know you do. But space right now is a consideration.
Okay.
So what we'll have physically inside, is medical and behavioral health services. And then, because we do have an optometry clinic on wheels,
I can't see the board,
and a mobile unit on wheels for dental, then we'll be able to alternate and bring those services to the district as well. We're real excited about our ability to be able to have this portable mobile health units to be able to, utilize the specialty services of dental and optometry and have them here physically on site for the district.
So will this be for the community as well,
Yes.
like Calumet is?
Yes.
Oh, this is awesome.
Now, typically what we do is we start out, when we open up, we're strictly focused on the district.
Okay.
And making sure that our students understand the workflows, the nursing staff and everybody is comfortable with it. And then after, some time, typically it's about a year, and then we'll start seeing people from the community. We just want to get into that relationship first and kind of, get married and kind of understand each other and make sure that everybody
how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
That is excellent, and I want to extend congratulations to you and your team, and kudos to the administration for being open. I understand that we have our changes, and we've also had our transition as we are poised to come back to local oversight. There are a lot of different moving pieces, and sometimes the clinic wasn't necessarily top of the list. It was on the list, but I think it's a nice scenario as we welcome a new era for the district to have that layer of health. Now, you said something that I will want to zoom in on, and you said there will be behavioral services. For so long in our Black communities, mental health was the taboo topic at the table. We didn't want to say, well, Uncle Ray Ray's gone a little loopy, so we just put him in the back, and we don't talk about it, and you don't need to see anybody because therapy is not a thing for our community. And slowly that narrative has changed, and we know that our children come from a variety of backgrounds and circumstances. And so Community Health Net will be another resource for them to come and get some of the behavioral support they need. Can you talk about that?
Sure, and it's I think the pandemic brought a lot to light, okay? Because yes, prior to the pandemic, we did not really talk. We, as a collective in our culture, in our community, did not talk a lot about behavioral health. So much to the point where it's detrimental to our overall health because we were ignoring those behavioral health and mental health issues. We can't ignore them anymore. The rate of African American suicide has increased. That was something that typically those numbers were low. They're starting to match the national averages now and outpace. So it's long past due that we open ourselves up and understand that when there are mental health challenges and behavioral health challenges, those impact your overall health. So you cannot ignore. This is all one body. And to ignore a part of that health, your mental health, is doing yourself a disservice. So what's the point of going to the doctor to get your annual health screenings, to get your blood work done, if you're depressed and anxious or nervous? We have the children, suffered greatly during the pandemic and the isolation and things that occurred, challenges that occurred with families, some, losing their homes,
Their loved ones,
the deaths were just piling up, and children have internalized all of this. So the numbers of children that are in desperate need of just someone hearing them and listening to their voice and letting them get their feelings out. And I think that we need to, as a community, African American community, get more in tune with that and be more accepting of, seeing a therapist or doing talk therapy, doing family therapy or group therapy. I think we need to move away from being so stigmatized about that.
Well, there she goes again, Dr. Janet Seabrook and the team at Community Health Net Centers to the rescue. Okay, it's quiz time, Doc. We have about a minute and a half left. Can you name, I'm going to try to help you. Can you name the locations? Like, where else are those health centers? Because people watch from all over the region, and we want them to support you.
So, 1021 West 5th Avenue is our flagship location that's located in Gary. Then there's 1015 North Shelby Street, that's in the Miller section, pediatrics only. 3503 Martin Luther King.
By the Career Center,
By the Career Center. Not too far from the Career Center, across the street. 6100 Broadway in Maryville. 3900 Calhoun Street, the Calumet New Tech High School. 5927 Columbia Avenue in Hammond. And then I'm not going to get the addresses right, so I'm not even going to give it. We have a location inside of Hammond Central, the brand new Hammond Central High School.
Calumet Avenue.
On Calumet Avenue. And then we have another location at Morton High School.
A+ for the doctor. You have been watching A Day in the District. Our special guest has been Dr. Janet Seabrook, Roosevelt grad, CEO of Community Health Net Health Centers. Please go to the website chn-indiana.org for more information, or you can call 219-880-1190. Thank you, Dr. Seabrook. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
WSTG